Oh, hello, Scorpio. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. Thank you so much for joining me here today. If Scorpio is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. If there is anything you would like me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards. Use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Scorpio, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And a Queen of Wands. You're somebody right now with a really take no BS sort of attitude, right? I think that you have really lately been standing up for yourself more. I think that you have been calling the shots. I think that you're usually a person that's relatively quiet. I feel like you don't really like confrontation. I feel that you're really a kind of a very go-with-the-flow type of person until something really, really corners you or really pushes your buttons. It takes a lot to really make you mad, you know? I feel like this is you kind of changing things a little bit. You're really just, you're taking the initiative more. You're standing up more. You're being more decisive, being in more control. You're the one that's kind of having the idea and making the decision. It's not really you going along with anybody else. It's now people are going to go along with you. You know, so there's a real shift in your energy to more empowered energy right now. Okay, and I find that to be very, very good. We're going to do a few cards to go with this. All right, you got the Four of Wands. Excuse me. You're getting stuff done. Right, you're really trying to tick things off your list. I feel with the Queen of Wands and the Four of Wands, you sort of almost had to nudge somebody out of the way and say, "I'm going to do it. I'm going to get this thing done." Maybe you got tired of waiting, right? Maybe you got tired of sort of watching somebody else, putter around and not actually complete the thing, right? There's the Hermit. Yeah, that makes sense too. There's the Death card. There's your Power card. I feel this is the Death card. It rules the sign of Scorpio. I feel like this card is really you making this transition from sort of the old energy now to the new energy, the really sort of ambitious, the get her done kind of energy. Yeah. And I don't know if this was, now we've got, now I got the Magician up there too. And a Six of Wands, Four of Wands, Six of Wands, all because you've shifted into this more fiery, creative, empowered, take charge kind of, tolerating no BS. Yeah. And anytime we get a 4, we start looking for the 5 because we kind of think that we're in this sort of cycle of energy and we don't have a 5, so things aren't sort of changing. We're not seeing any kind of, we're not seeing anybody sort of resisting your energy. We kind of see people like it, you know? I feel like this is you stepping up and becoming the leader. And people are willingly following you. It's almost like they're saying, thank you for taking over because we couldn't do it. You know, the Six of Wands is all about victory, but it's more about somebody leading others to victory. It's not about you stepping on everybody else's shoulders to get to the top. It's about you leading the way, showing the others the way to success. Yeah, this is very, very good. And of course, we see the Major Arcana, which is also very good Major Arcana. We've got a Knight of Cups, Ace of Pentacles, the Nine of Swords, but it's in the position of what we're trying to avoid, and that's a very good thing. And then finally, Queen of Pentacles, very nice. not only are you taking charge, so we have the Queen of Wands and the Queen of Pentacles. Excuse my voice today. I feel like I'm maybe getting sick again. With the Queen of Wands and the Queen of Pentacles, I feel like you are taking the initiative and you are getting results. All right, very, very straightforward. Fire to earth. It really is having the impulse, having the creative idea, and here it is materializing. Okay, it's kind of really it's an energy that says if you want something done right, you've got to do it yourself, and that's, I think, exactly what's going on here. Doing it yourself, taking charge, using your own power, your own ingenuity to accomplish your tasks right now, and I think others are appreciating that. Others are kind of saying thank you, right? The Nine of Swords is what we're trying to avoid. We don't want any kind of cruelty. We don't want any wrath. We don't want any hurt feelings. We don't want to offend anybody. And of course, we don't want to be injured either, right? So it's kind of like this is working out the best way possible. There was a chance that you standing up for yourself could have really went sideways. We could have had the Nine of Swords. Everybody's just kind of fighting. Everybody's offended. Everybody's got hurt feelings. Everybody's just sort of at each other's throats, and it's a mess. But no. Thankfully, you've got the Six of Wands. You're doing it with such tact and such grace, and that's, I think, because of your magician up there, right? The magician knows how to get the results it wants. The magician knows all about the interface, right? And we'll get to that one. Let's select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. It's going to go right here with Frank and Duck, and we're going to put that right over there. We're not going to look at that card until the very end, but it will tie everything together and it will give us the confirmation that we need at the end of the reading. If you have a prediction for that card, let's put it down in the comments, right? Let's use this opportunity to practice our intuition. All right. I think it'll be fun. Anyway, let's look around the room. We've got our major arcana, 1, 2, 3. And the major arcana is sort of creating this like wave, right? It's sort of creating a wave of spiritual force that's sort of pushing you forward. And I think that really all of these factors have aligned. These 3 major arcana cards are aligning for you right now in such a way that it's the perfect time for you to take charge and get things done. That's it, right? And it's almost, there's no other choice here, right? There's really no other way for you to handle things right now. I think if you have any issues with anybody, if you have a problem with the way things are being handled, Spirit is saying that now is the time for you to sort of come out of your shell, step into your very best energy, your creative, intense, empowered energy, and get things done. And confront the issue head on, but do so with tact, with skill, with grace, with flexibility, with adaptability, as would a magician. Like this is someone that's like really good at negotiation. This is somebody who knows what words to use and how to use them depending on who they're talking to. You don't use the same tone of voice for everybody in your life, You have the tact and the subtlety to sort of tailor your presentation to fit the audience. Yeah. And I think that is how you're able to avoid the Nine of Swords and rather get the Six of Wands, to get everybody sort of willingly following you, saying, yes, I'm on your team. I agree with you. Thank you for helping us out. Show me the way, Scorpio, rather than saying, what are you talking about? Right? Because it really could have gone this way, but I think you have just the right, it's almost like you're getting real lucky here. Because this could have been really, really, really bad, but instead I think it is going to be really, really, really good. And whatever this is, if it's a work thing, family, friends, if this is something at church or the library or the community center, if you're retired, if you're in school, if you are whatever, this is how you get to your goal. This is how you succeed at whatever your stake is in this thing. Okay, this endeavor, this time of your life. Okay, so we've got our three major arcana energies, and really, really good. Really lucky we have these three right here, right now. I mean, it's already just perfect. Just seeing these show up like this is absolutely perfect. We've got fire. We've got water. A little bit of water. The air. Perfect air, because it's the worst one and it's in the position of what we don't want. So we know we don't want things to go sideways. We don't want to start attacking each other, on a personal level. We do have 3 court cards, and that tells me that, yes, there is a group of people here. And you're trying very hard not to be offensive, not to attack anybody personally, not to give anybody a good lashing, verbal lashing. You're trying to be a person of compassion. See, this is part of your character. You know that the right strategy, the right tactic here is compassion, empathy, love, right? And not cruelty and animosity and calling people names and trying to force your way through that way, okay? That's not how you get to your success. This is you sitting pretty at the end of the day, all right? I like it. So we've got our earth energy, which I think is really, really nice. Really, really nice. I think this is an opportunity for you to, a lot of things. It's an opportunity for you to step into your confidence, step into your creative energy. It's an opportunity for you to further your spiritual development, your self-development. It's an opportunity for you to benefit financially. And it's an opportunity for you to make some friends, okay? To gain some followers is kind of more the words that I'm hearing. And so I don't know exactly what that means, but I think with the Ace of Pentacles in the environment, the position of your relationships with the environment, we're talking about kind of new things. So I think what you've got to do with this group of people is, first of all, clarify the goal. What is it that y'all are after? What is it that we're trying to accomplish? Okay. And I think that this is also kind of talking about the willingness for you to invest in these other people. Yeah. Or, how to phrase this, to make sure that others know that you are investing in them, that you're willing to invest in them, that you believe in them, and that this is something that affects all of us, right? And you want everyone to succeed just as much as you want yourself to succeed, okay? And that's all Mercury energy up here is really, this is what it's all about. It's how you present yourself that's going to make all the difference, okay? Let's talk about the Hermit here, because the Hermit's really kind of, it's within. It's kind of showing that underneath everything, you're not really a social person. You don't really want to be a leader. You don't want to be noticed. You don't want to make a ruckus, cause a scene, You don't want to have everybody looking at you. You kind of like the quiet intensity of your life. There's a little bit of solitude, I think, that's important for you, and I think necessary for you to sort of to not take on the burdens of others. See, we're talking about you being over here with the Knight of Cups, being empathic and compassionate, right? And empathy is really sort of understanding and be able to feel what somebody else is feeling. to understand what they're feeling, right? And so that's a way of connecting with people. You can empathize with people. It creates a bond there. The hermit, on the other hand, is kind of saying you got to be careful with that, because you don't want to take on everybody else's feelings, and then you're sort of overloaded. The same way a surgeon, while a surgeon has empathy and compassion and care, they keep a certain amount of distance emotionally, because that doctor or that surgeon can't take on the suffering of everybody else. Otherwise, they get overloaded. And I think we see that in a lot of places. In a lot of, we see that in law enforcement. We see that in medical personnel. We see that in military personnel, that they sort of internalize all of the trauma, all of the suffering that they witness and that they come in contact with and that they interact with. That they take that into themselves, and it has pretty bad consequences, right? So you have the right amount of, see, the Hermit and the Knight of Cups are going different directions. You see that? This one's staying away, this one's going towards. And so you've got the right mixture. You got the right mixture of that. I wouldn't be surprised if we got the Temperance card as our mystery card. The right mixture of sort of isolation and distance with attachment and compassion and, we are one heart kind of vibe. Yeah. So it's keeping you safe, but it's also letting other people know that you're there and that you care and that you're interested in everybody's well-being. Okay. Of course, the Death card back here is your personal power card. Okay. And I think that this is really talking about a transformation that you've been undergoing in your life. I think it's really the transition from let's say from maybe more hermit energy to sort of standing up and taking charge and putting yourself out there and emerging as this leader, emerging sort of as the person that says, hey, I know what to do and we're going to do it. Okay? Implementing your plan. This is your system. This was your business plan. This was your proposal, the Four of Wands here. This is what you know that will work, right? So it's kind of like you're standing up and you're saying, look, I know what's going to work. I've got the plan. Let's do it. I'm not asking, I'm telling. We're doing it. And this is your baby, right? This is kind of your process that you're implementing in this situation, whether it's work, school, family, friends, whatever, right? Maybe you're retired. Maybe you are, I don't know, maybe you're a student. Any of these situations, yeah. The Death card also tells me that you kind of got tired of waiting. That whatever this future is, right? Whatever this is the future version of yourself, the Queen of Pentacles. Whatever that is, it feels like you've been waiting for too long and kind of been like waiting for somebody else to get on the ball. Until the point where it's just like, scooch over, I'm going to do it, because I think there's been a reliance on other people to sort of, to contribute more or to figure the way out, or the way through this. If this is, let's say it's a group project at school, or if it's something at work, in your department, maybe it's your business or the company you work for or whatever. It's really just you kind of pushing your way to the front of the crowd and saying, I'm here, this is what we're going to do, let's get to it. Okay. The thing that we see is really not a lot of air energy. We've got the air energy over here, this is what we don't want. But otherwise, there's no swords cards. Because I feel like it's not really a discussion. It's not really a conversation. There's not even a disagreement. There's no questions being asked. You're not asking for permission. Right? You're emerging as the magician. You're just fighting your way to the front, and everyone's looking at you, and you're going to show them how it's done. Right? And, I think that this is also you kind of understanding the audience that you're talking to. So you're choosing your words, right? You kind of know how to do it in a way that will get the results that you want. And you want to be well received. Okay. And I think that you got a lot, I mean, to me, that's kind of like it's very creative. It's very like a performer, you know. I don't feel like you like the performance. I feel like with the hermit, when we think of the hermit and the magician kind of juxtaposed as they are, the hermit is kind of saying, I like to perform, but only when I'm alone in my room. And then I'm like the best singer, guitar player in the world, right? And of course, the magician is the one that's out on stage doing the thing. And so I feel like there's kind of there's a duality between these two. And these are two sides of yourself. Just as we're talking about the attachment and the detachment, right? This is kind of maybe the extroverted, and this is the introverted sides of you. And I think the transformation that you're going through right now is sort of a mixture of both, to the point where you're not just coming in and you're not just being all fiery magician. It's like one of those, I mean, it's like a used car salesman. Nothing against used car salesmen. I buy most of my cars, have been used in my life, so I'm, you know. But this is kind of that vibe. This is kind of, now this is nothing against, now forget I said anything about the used car salesman, okay, salesperson. This is kind of any kind of salesperson that has that sort of pushy and obnoxious energy. That's way too enthusiastic, way too friendly. They'll put their arm around you and show you to the car and be like, get in it, don't you want it? We all know salespeople can be pushy, right? And this is that combination, right? But you've got just the right balance where you kind of have a little bit of this, it's almost like there's the humbleness, there's that little aspect, that aura around you that kind of says you really don't want to be here. You don't want to be the leader. You're not. It's like the perfect salesperson, you know, who's confident and charming and outgoing and can articulate and can speak well, you know, but also has this feeling that says, hey, you know, I'm not trying to pressure you. It's kind of a little bit more passive, you know, and just says, you let me know. I'll be over here. Just sitting quietly in the corner if you need anything, right? And so it's the perfect mixture of these energies for you that it's going to lead to everybody saying, wow, whatever they're selling, I'm sold, I'm buying it, right? And maybe you're a salesperson. I hope I didn't offend you. I have nothing against salespeople. I was in sales for a while too. Actually, I did telemarketing for like a week, and I hated it. As much as I like talking, I didn't like doing the telephone sales. No, not my thing. I did another job where I did business to business sales, where I'd actually go out and visit, potential customers and give estimates and things like that. That I liked more because that's in person. It's kind of you kind of go into their business and you're showing them things and talking to them, and that seems a little bit different to me. I like that better anyway. But the Six of Wands, I think people really they're going to be charmed by you. Okay? You've got the right alignment. That's what I mean. You've got the right alignment of energies here that people they're going to believe. They're going to agree. You're going to win them over in a way. Okay? So this is a very good time if there's anything that you are trying to negotiate, anything that you're trying to quote unquote sell. Now's the time to do it. Okay, you've got the right configuration of energy. Now's the time for you to step up and try to sell yourself, sell your product, sell your proposal, to stand up in the business meeting and tell people what you think, right? Lay your idea, your plan, lay it out in front of everybody and say, this is what we're doing. And the right alignment of energy is going to guarantee people are going to follow you. Okay, people are going to see that you're gonna lead them to victory. Okay, I think this is really the greatest reading that I've ever done for you, and I think this is so perfect for you, Scorpio, because I feel that this is it's a shift, it's a transition for you. This is not something that I think comes so easily to you, but I think it's absolutely the right energy for you right now. Now, we're going to move over to the Path of the Serpent. As we do this, I'd like to ask for your subscription. If you haven't subscribed yet, well, please do. It is totally free. It doesn't cost anything, and it helps out the channel, and I very much appreciate that. All right. I am blessed with a wonderful audience out there, and I appreciate every one of you. General energy. You got that. You got that Knight of Cups. Knight of Cups is all about the giving and receiving of love, right? It's you really feeling connected to people, and they feel connected to you. They feel like, wow, Scorpio's really they're authentic. They really mean what they say. This is like a salesperson that you want to buy that car because you can tell that they love it so much, and it must be good. Right? You know, you get those salespeople that they try to sell you something, and you can tell it's just all shtick, that they don't really believe it, that they don't really believe in the product they're selling, right? This is an energy that really, like, you know, it's kind of like, I wouldn't be selling this if I didn't love it. Okay? And because I love you, I want you to love this too. Yeah? And so it really creates a connection between you and the other people around you right now. And this is very important. Of course, we have a little bit of that detachment with a little bit of that humbleness, the humility with the hermit energy. Okay. The Ace of Pentacles in the position of the environment, like we talked about, is the sort of all the possibilities, all the things that can begin now. Right? Because of this rapport that you're building, that you're able to establish with everybody. And now everybody's really, they believe in you. They believe in your plan. They're going to follow you. They want you to be the leader. The Ace of Pentacles is now you actually doing the leading. Yeah? Actually, now we've got to put this plan into action. So anytime we get a 4, we start looking for the 5. Well, there is the addition of that physical activity, the actual taking of the step, the breaking ground, you've won everybody over. Now it's time to really start doing the thing. And so this creates the 5 that we want, the movement, right? The movement. And I think this is also, the perfect time for you to sort of get the financial income or the financial support that you need, right? I think there's a situation here that needs improvement in your finances. So this is the perfect time for that. It's the perfect time for you to begin really any new project or plan that you've had. It's time to begin the physical movement of it. Okay? Time to take the first step in a lot of these things. This is in the position of your relationships. It's time for you to make the first move or take the first step in a relationship. Reach out to new friends. Reach out to new love or romantic interests. Reach out to the friends or the family members that you haven't talked to in a while. Maybe you've been waiting for them. Oh, they never call me. Now's the time for you to reach out. Yeah. Of course, all the while we are avoiding the 9 of Swords, which is, the personal attacks. And the 9 of Swords, I think, is important too. When we were talking about the pain and the suffering and the trauma of other people, that we don't want to internalize and make it part of ourselves, because then we're suffering. Because then we're experiencing an overload of trauma. We have our own trauma and pain and suffering, and now we're taking on the pain and trauma and suffering of everybody else that we sort of come in contact with. So we're trying to avoid that. We're trying to avoid the 9 of Swords. We need to stay just detached enough that we don't take on and start accumulating everybody else's trauma, because we got our own to deal with. But we attach ourselves enough to other people that there can be a rapport, that there can be empathy and compassion, right? And trust. Trust is a big thing here. In fact, the whole thing is really about the trust. Yeah. And so we don't want to experience that kind of overload, and we don't want to lose the trust or break the trust. So we have to really mean what we say, and we don't want to. And I think it really is, in another sense, because of this, that we're not souring other people's perception of us. If you're that, remember, if you're that sort of pushy salesperson that we had up here, people are going to get turned off by that. See, that's going to be a 9 of Swords. That's just going to be like rubbing people the wrong way, right? So the way to avoid that, of course, is to have that blend of that very sort of charismatic and charming salesperson with the humble sort of the very, very humble and quiet and reserved salesperson that says, I'll just be sitting here quietly in the corner staring at the floor if you need me, right? So a combination of both is how we avoid that Nine of Swords. Now, the Queen of Pentacles at the very end, sitting pretty, right? The accomplishment of your goals, and I think this is really in the future, you're going to be looking back on right now in retrospect, and you're going to be saying, oh yeah, I did the right stuff. You know, this is always the card that looks at the past. You know, it's in the future position. In the future, you're going to be looking back to right now and saying, that was perfect. That was crazy. That was amazing, right? And maybe this energy doesn't last so much. You know, maybe you kind of eventually you sort of wander back to, you know, to the kind of, I don't know, the original Scorpio energy, let's say. Maybe this is just kind of right now, there's this alignment. And, you know, maybe it's the retrograde, right? Everything's just sort of backwards now, right? And so you're moving in this forward direction, and it may not last for a long time, but when it's over, when this thing gets accomplished, you're going to see a lot of progress in your life. The financial stuff, the cooperation, the accomplishment of the goals, you know, and you're going to be able to look back on this time and think, wow, like that was amazing. That was the greatest time I've ever had. You're going to be very thankful that you took advantage of the alignment of this energy to get all this stuff done, to do all these things, start all these things, and to lead this charge toward success, right? But I think it's going to do something else, because I think it's going to make you realize how good this felt for you. You're going to understand what it was about this that you can then project into the future and say, I'm going to do it again. I'm not going to wait for some magical planetary retrograde or some astrological alignment or whatever. You are going to learn how to bring this out of yourself almost at will. Yeah. And it's kind of, I mean, it may even be saying that you're sort of moving into this leadership position. Maybe you're becoming that really authentic salesperson kind of energy. And you're really going to like it. And you're going to say, I want to keep doing this. I want to do this again and again and again. I want to make this a habit, right? And to me, that's the real benefit. That's the real big win. Yeah. Let's look at the mystery card here. What are the other factors here, right? What is Spirit sort of telling us is the thing that ties all of this together? What is it really about? Or, you know, what is the outcome that we're really looking for? Maybe, right? What do we want to see here? I honestly don't know. Maybe the world, maybe the emperor, maybe empress, maybe some water energy, maybe a 6 of cups. Let's see. Put your prediction in the comments. Go ahead, do that now. Let's see what we have. The Lovers. The Lover. And the Lovers is cool. The Lovers is not necessarily about romance. That's a small part of the meaning of this card. Okay? This card is about two sides of something coming together. Okay? It's sort of making the choice to unite with that which is meant for us. It's that commitment. This is the promise we make and a commitment we make to something else or someone else. Okay. I think it's interesting that it is a Gemini energy, the twins sort of energy, and it kind of now is talking about the way to your success is about the combination of opposites, the union of opposites, Magician and Hermit, right? And even the Magician and the Knight of Cups, the union of those opposites. Okay. So I think that this is the strategy. It's all about having the right blend of, both of these. It's kind of saying the Magician is one particular energy on its own. The Hermit is one particular energy on its own. You put them together, and you're creating something that transcends both of them. 1 + 1 equals more than 2. Right? These two sides of yourself coming together. And it's either, maybe it's you and this group of people, you and this other unconscious energy in you, you and these other friends, you and this life, just you and the world, right? Coming together and creating something that transcends either individual on its own. 1 + 1 equals more than 2. Okay, creating something that's never existed before. Yeah, creating that sort of once in a lifetime event. Yeah, the Lovers card. I feel like this is, in some ways, it's kind of like you finding your other half within yourself, you know. But I also feel that this is you finding intimate relationships, finding these bonds with people. We said with the Ace of Pentacles that it's sort of like reaching out for new friends, new lovers, reaching out to old friends, old lovers, family members, right? This card is about bringing everything together. Everything that's meant for you is coming together. Very, very nice. We're going to do an extended reading too if you want to stick around. There's a link up top. There's one down below. New readings for Scorpio Wednesdays and Saturdays. Be sure to watch both readings. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It is totally free. It doesn't cost anything. Leave a comment and let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we're all in this together.